Hey everybody, this is Doa, and I'm back with another semifinal match for LastPlayerStanding.com's Open Tournament number 2. That's right, we're all the way to the last semifinal match. We did see FXO Inori take out his opponent in the last one, so he's going to the finals, and now we're going to see which of these guys are going on to the finals of the second LastPlayerStanding.com Open. We have got our Yellow Terran player KawaiiRice spawning at the right side of GSL Xel'Naga Fortress, and his opponent Kirka, who, this ID, obviously it says Kirka, but it's actually BboongBboongPrime. That's right, you guys probably remember from the round of 8. He won, I believe, I'm trying to remember who he beat now. Oh man, I casted those two, that's so embarrassing. Why do we even talk about previous games? Alright, so anyway, we've got BboongBboongPrime versus Fnatic KawaiiRice. We're going to duke it out here on this map, and it's a TVZ, obviously. KawaiiRice is the type of player, in my experience, that prefers to go kind of marine tank, likes to play, you know, very standard, likes to move a lot of marines around the map, likes to drop, so I'll have to see if he decides to kind of follow what I've seen him do quite a lot this game. And BboongBboongPrime, on the other hand, is a player that I don't really honestly know a whole lot about. When I've seen him play, the few times I've seen him play, he seemed more or less a standard ZV tier, but who knows, he could have some surprises for us. Not a big surprise here, he's going for the hatch first. There it is, become a hatchery. Ta-da! Or become like a little blue mound that will eventually become a hatchery. And so that's not weird at all. Hatch first, obviously. KawaiiRice getting his barracks down at his choke. He's also got one gas, so nothing out of the ordinary there. He's got a lot of different opening options. Obviously not going to go a 1-Rax gasless expand. But, you know, he could do something like a Reaper expand. He could do a Hellion expand as well if he puts down a factory, but who knows. And not getting that Marine right away. Okay, oh, he's going to go right for a Tech Lab, so this will be a Reaper expand then. Going to get the one Tech Lab, get the Reaper out for a little bit of scouting, a little bit of map control, and then get his command center and, you know, whatever else he decides to get. Meantime, it looks like pool before gas for BboongBboongPrime, so he's going to go for something a little bit more economical himself as well. And now this map is a bit interesting for TVZ. I feel like it's a map that favors the Terran, and I'll tell you why. This middle part of the map, even though the Xel'Naga Tower does kind of go away, if you can control this, if you can kind of put a siege tank line, you know, across this area, if you can kind of control this, it makes it very, very difficult for the Zerg player to expand. You know, he's not going to expand here because he's going to get hit with siege tanks fire. It's tough to expand here just because you can run Hellions down there fairly easily from right here. Obviously, you have to worry about that. So, all in all, I think a difficult map for Zerg. Now, BboongBboongPrime, of course, is a very good Zerg player. He's a GSL quality Zerg player. So, will he be able to overcome that? Looks like he's going to be able to easily overcome this SCV here. Goodbye, SCV. And yeah, there's the command center and a factory for KawaiiRice. Alright, so he could be going into some sort of, you know, quicker tanks to stay a little bit more safe. I mean, you can always decide to switch the factory over with the barracks and get fast siege mode, or even fast blue flame Hellions if you wanted to, I suppose. FCD plans, lifting the barracks to put a reactor down. A little bit early, so he's probably not planning on switching that. Okay, deciding to build a second barracks there, so he'll be able to get stim and produce a lot of Marines at the same time. You know, and that's pretty typical KawaiiRice from what I've seen of him, is that he likes to get a lot of Marines, likes to make sure that they're nice and upgraded. And we'll have to see if he decides to go for something like a starport right after his factory finishes, or if he wants to just kind of get his factory tech rolling a little bit more. Wouldn't be surprised if we did see that starport. Could be something different though too. Now what is he planning on doing here? Possibly switching it with this reactor and getting Hellions? Yeah, looks like that's what he's going to do. I have to admit, I haven't seen an opening quite like this before. Oh, wait. Is he going to float that? Alright, not floating it all the way to low ground. Never mind. Yeah, he's going to be reactoring out some Hellions, I guess. And 2 barracks with Tech Lab. Interesting. Alright. He's not making a second Reaper, so it's not like it's going to be some sort of Reaper Hellion build. Alright, sorry, this Reaper's been running around and taking damage. I've just been really curious about what exactly KawaiiRice is doing, because I haven't seen things configured quite like this. This could be a Reaper or a Hellion Marauder opening as well. Getting stim. If he gets combat shields, he could just be going for a big Marine Reaper push with some of the early Marine upgrades, obviously, so we'll have to come back to that. Looks like BboongBboongPrime getting all 4 gases relatively early and a pretty quick lair as well. That's going to definitely help him out. against what KawaiiRice is planning, which looks to be, you know, Marine Hellion. We'll have to see. There's the expansion there. And it is something that you can move into Marine Tank from fairly easily. You know, you have 2 tech labs. All you need to do is swap one for the other. There is that Evo chamber going down for BboongBboongPrime. A couple spine crawlers, so you can tell he's kind of thinking a little bit about Hellions. Might do some scouting with that Overlord in the near future, we'll have to see. And here come the Hellions. Speaking of which, are they going to be able to get in and cause any damage? That's a nice building positioning by BboongBboongPrime here. It's going to be pretty difficult for the Hellions to get in and really do anything. So, I mean, that is one nice thing for Zerg on this map, is that your natural is fairly well protected, but getting beyond your natural, that's going to be the difficult part. And a very quick Spire for BboongBboongPrime. Alright, as well as a Baneling Nest. So yeah, just playing very standard Mutiling, Baneling. A lot of Hellions right now for KawaiiRice, but, you know, again, he's not going to really be able to get in and do any damage with this, it appears. Oh, I'm making a lot of Hellions. This is a big investment, so he's really got, you know, a good reason to try to break his way in here, but I don't think he's going to be able to, really. Spine crawlers there. The buildings are in a nice placement area, obviously. I don't know if the Hellions can fit through here. It's possible. At the very least, he can stop creep tumor spread. As you can see, he did take out a creep tumor right there. And we have already got some Banelings on the way for BboongBboongPrime. He wants to make sure that he can handle those Hellions. If they do kind of get back around here, he can trap them with Zerglings and Banelings. Meanwhile, back at the base of KawaiiRice, what do we have going on? Another barrack and another factory going up. Alright. So some biomech action, a lot of Marines, some Hellions. Oh, and a Zergling run by for BboongBboongPrime. He's going to be able to surround these Marines, but it's not going to be enough to take these out at all. Kind of a waste of Banelings there, or Zerglings rather, for BboongBboongPrime. Ugh, I don't know if I like that. Yeah, he killed like a couple Marines, and that was it. It's kind of bad. And so KawaiiRice is like, alright, well, I guess I'll see if you have a third yet, because a lot of Zergs would have a third by now. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just see if I can hang out here, I guess. That's what he's going to do. So what else do we have on the way? Obviously, we do have flyer attacks going up for the Mutalisks. And Zerg melee attacks level 1. Have to see how quick he decides to get level 2. And the Hellions again trying to do some damage. Oh, they're going to roast a lot of Zerglings, though. That's kind of nice for a KawaiiRice. Any Zerglings he can kill right now is going to be pretty helpful. There's a third going up for BboongBboongPrime, but it looks like KawaiiRice is going to spot it right away with that Reaper. This is the value of keeping that Reaper alive and not letting it die. Because of course it is going to see this. There it is. And with the amount of damage that Reapers do to buildings, he may actually be able to eventually force a cancel, because it's not like BboongBboongPrime can really move out that well. Okay, he did slip past the Hellions. KawaiiRice pulled the Hellions back. I thought, you know, if he left him there, he couldn't do that. Looks like some Lings trying to do some damage here. Reaper gets cleaned up by BboongBboongPrime. And the nice thing now is that he can catch these Hellions in the map if he wants to with the Mutalisks, but it doesn't look like he's doing that quite yet. Come on, computer, you can do it. And now the Hellions do have Blue Flame, and that might be enough. Well, it doesn't really do any extra damage against buildings, does it? Nope, it doesn't. Alright, there's starting to be a decent amount of mutas out for BboongBboongPrime right now. That barracks area is not going to be able to, bunker there is not going to be able to push in really here. No turrets really yet at all, just 1 or 2. So if he's careful, he can do some harassment. Oh, but that's not being careful, I don't know. BboongBboongPrime being a little bit dangerous with those Hellions. He needs to be careful with that. Or dangerous with the Mutalisks, rather. Hellions still trying to find a way to do damage. They haven't been able to do it yet. So if we look at the supply right now, both players about even. It looks like these Hellions are finally going to be chased back home by BboongBboongPrime, and he might actually... Oh no! All these Zerglings are going to get roasted. Huge amounts of Lings being roasted by KawaiiRice, but you know, he's still going to lose all these Hellions to the Mutas, but man, he killed a lot. Look at that. Yeah, 81 units killed already by KawaiiRice, and these Hellions are eventually going to go down. Hellions can outrun Mutas, though, so, you know, you never know. Yeah, looks like Biomech. There's a Marine Thor composition with a couple tanks now being produced by KawaiiRice. 3 Hellions still alive, but the Mutas are going to find him. Nice job there. Hiding right next to the Overlord. Oh, scanning, and he did find some banelings hidden outside of his base. He needs to be pretty careful about something like that. And basically just a lot of mutas being produced right now by BboongBboongPrime, finally producing some banelings as well. And this could actually be a little bit of a scare tactic move from KawaiiRice. He moves out, tries to get BboongBboongPrime to produce units instead of drones. Doesn't really let him get this third base saturated quite as well. You can see BboongBboongPrime is producing mostly Zerglings right now. Not any drones at all, really. And this is a pretty strong army. I mean, siege mode's not done yet, but he is going to have +2 weapon attacks for the infantry. +1 armor as well. He's going to need to be a little bit careful with this. Lings aren't really very good against Thors. And, alright. So he's going to try to take out this third here. Drones fleeing. And what does BboongBboongPrime have to respond with this? He doesn't really have a lot, honestly. He's got a good amount of links. He's got mutas attacking KawaiiRice's main. And this could be a bit of a concern for KawaiiRice. Not really any response right now for that. He needs to try to build up some Marines to come back and chase these away. In the meantime, the hatchery was taken out by KawaiiRice. And he might get away safe and sound. We'll see if the drones are okay, though. And yeah, now that the Thor is out... Ooh, those mutas taking a pretty big hit. A little bit lucky that that last volley only hit the one muta. And yeah, now KawaiiRice is pretty safe. And yeah, although BboongBboongPrime is slightly ahead in supply, he's still fairly even with KawaiiRice right now. It's all going to come down to those engagements. He needs to kind of keep things alive as much as he possibly can. If we take a look at the unit counting station, it is 19 mutas on the way here. And he might actually just decide to run by KawaiiRice. Look at this, trying to bait the forces over the burrowed banelings. Oh, actually unburrowing them and burrowing them again, I presume. Yep, he does burrow them again right there. KawaiiRice need to be a little bit careful about that. Doesn't want to lose all his Marines to banelings. That's no fun if you're a Terran player. Oh, and attacking right now. I don't know if this is the best option for BboongBboongPrime, but it looks like for now it's working out. Oh, that's a lot of Marines and a lot of mutas dying. And BboongBboongPrime does need to retreat. The Lings in the base do take out the siege tanks, and there aren't a lot of Marines left. Oh man, that's burrowed banelings right there. And does he see it with that scan? No, he actually doesn't. He finds a few more burrowed banelings though and kills a couple creep tumors. He's got to be careful with those mutas though. Thors, of course, do that splash damage to air, and the mutas are taking some damage. The mutas trying to lure the Marines over the banelings, but KawaiiRice doing such a good job of scanning as he slowly pushes forward here. BboongBboongPrime is taking a few more bases, but is it going to be enough? You know, no medevacs out right now for KawaiiRice, so all those Marines are starting to take some decent damage too. Needs to be a little bit careful with that. Stimming again. Here he comes. He has to split. Otherwise, the banelings are getting to his Marines. A lot of Marines taking some damage here. The Mutalisks are starting to get very low. He does lose a Thor there and another one very low on health. Yeah, KawaiiRice is definitely going to need to head home after this. At least I feel like he should. I feel like it's risky not to. Trying to take a third here. BboongBboong does have his new third up. His fourth actually just finishing there as well. And still 17 mutas out on the field right now for BboongBboongPrime. Yeah, KawaiiRice having to use a lot of scans to take out those banelings. And so for now, Terran players haven't really decided that it's more cost effective to use Ravens than scans. I feel like it could be, but it's just kind of hard to get to it when you're already working on medevacs and things like that. But KawaiiRice hasn't really made any medevacs yet this game. These mutas are all getting very low on health, and he might lose some to this Thor. This Thor, though, getting magic boxed and taken out. But there are a bunch of Marines there to... Oh, wow. BboongBboongPrime losing all his mutas. What are you doing? Oh, man. That's actually terrible muta control for BboongBboongPrime. Down to just 6 mutas after about 20 a moment ago. And KawaiiRice suddenly has a pretty secure third. And that, of course, is a planetary. And look at this, a drop coming into the fourth base of BboongBboongPrime. There are a bunch of Zerglings on the way, though, so this drop isn't going to do a whole lot. KawaiiRice is going to pick the Marines up. He gets about half of them. And the medevac does get away. Nice defense by BboongBboongPrime there. Oh, and this hatchery did die as well. Mewtwo's coming in. He's transfusing the Mewtwo's, trying to make them live. There's just not a lot of Mewtwo's right now for BboongBboongPrime. KawaiiRice is pulling so far ahead in supply at the moment. Yeah, I don't know. BboongBboongPrime needs to make something happen sooner. KawaiiRice is just going to basically overrun him with the Marine Swarm this game. And here comes the army of BboongBboongPrime, trying to avoid those Marines, but, you know, it may be a little bit too late, and if KawaiiRice is able to come and kill this base, it's going to be basically the end of the game because he's basically mined out. Basically. The word of the day is basically. And it looks like BboongBboongPrime going for a bit of a counterattack here. Going after the Marines there, losing a lot of Zerglings to the planetary, though I don't know if it's the best idea. Oh no, half of them. I was going to say, yeah, that's not going to work out at all. GG and KawaiiRice taking down BboongBboongPrime in Game 1 of the semifinals. Look at that, even killing the hatchery at the end there. We're going to move right on to Game 2.